What's up YouTube, Capital G here, covering the Maximum Crisis, doing a quick follow-up because apparently it is the responsibility of YouTubers now to talk about and cover Konami's botched attempts at damage control and how their fix isn't really a fix except for a very, very small amount of people who were affected by their defective product. And honestly, it's inarguable. Maximum Crisis was a bugged fucking set. Like, you can't even dispute it at this point. There's too much video evidence, and I think that this honestly just boils down to personal responsibility. Okay, I don't want to hear about how it's not Konami's fault, it's the printing company's fault. They didn't have enough ink to print any Dragonic diagrams and ash blossoms, and there wasn't enough secrets because we didn't have enough ink. I don't care what the excuse is. Okay, the buck has to stop with somebody. It's about personal responsibility. This is not that printing company's Maximum Crisis. It's not Mega Capital G's Maximum Crisis. It's Konami's fucking Maximum Crisis. They're the ones that put their name on that pack. They're the ones who are responsible for consumer confidence in their products. If they want people to buy Code of the Duelist and continue to buy Yu-Gi-Oh packs, it's their responsibility to fix this shit, not anyone else's. When a running back is running the ball and they fumble and the other team scores and they lose the game, the coach gets fired. It wasn't the coach who was running the ball, but it doesn't matter because you're the coach. You're responsible for the team. When Sanderson Farms or Purdue, when they have an E. coli outbreak and they have to recall 1 million chickens, they don't say, well, actually, it's not our fault. Look at the chickens. They're the ones who had the E. coli. You know what they say? You know what? We fucked up. It's our bad. It's not going to happen again. We'll do better. We'll make sure that our practices are better and it won't happen in the future. Konami didn't come out and apologize. They didn't send any press out about Maximum Crisis and how it was bugged and how it won't happen in the future, of how they're changing companies or anything. They swept this shit so far under the rug that literally one OTS store out of all of the ones affected, this is what we know. So far we know, we have confirmation, one OTS store is being covered. And you really think that this is newsworthy, that we should be reporting this because one out of maybe, I don't know, 100, 200 stores is actually getting compensated? Like, this is absolutely bogus. This is nothing but damage control. This is how you know it's damage control. When a company gives their first response, that is usually their most honest response. What was Konami's first response to this entire situation? Konami's first response to everybody was, well, we don't guarantee ratios, so basically fuck you. And then what happened? The entire internet on what's it called, Facebook, Zodiac Duelist, and every YouTuber under the sun started making videos, and Pro Play Games provided hours and hours and hours of video showing, yeah, this set is bugged as fuck, probably don't go ahead and buy it. Then Konami started feeling the heat and they were like, whoa, okay, Pro Play Games, we didn't actually mean fuck you. What we meant was, we'll recompensate you. Okay, but that's cool and everything. So you're compensating what, like 1% of the people who bought Maximum Crisis? What about everybody else? What about people who didn't buy full cases? What about people who aren't OTS stores? It says a decision has been made to replace the cases that were effective. Okay, but what if I'm a 17-year-old kid and I walk into Target and I just buy a booster box and I do a box opening for my YouTube and I don't get any secrets? Am I gonna get compensated too? What about all the dozens and dozens and hundreds of people who have emailed you before and you basically just gave them an answer like, yeah, we don't really care, we don't guarantee ratios? Like, this is why this is damage control. This is no different than the fucking United Airlines thing that happened like a month ago, where they pulled the Asian guy off the plane and it looked like he got all hurt and it looked like he had went 3 rounds with fucking Triple G or something like that. The first reaction from the CEO was, well, we're sorry that you had such an unpleasant flight. And then what? The entire internet came out and they started hating on United and saying that fuck the company, the stock dropped and they'd never ride it, or they'd never fly on that again. And then what did the CEO do? He completely changed his tune. He was like, I am mortified by this. We will be better. We will fire everybody on that plane. We will never have something happen like this again. So I don't understand why this is somehow YouTubers' fault. Like, I'm not the Mega Capital G did not take the secret rares out of that pack, and it doesn't honestly matter who did because the buck stops with Konami. It's your product. Like, fix the fucking situation. You tried to keep, you weren't transparent. You didn't admit to the public that there was a problem with Maximum Crisis because you wanted people to keep buying the sets. You hope that you can contain the story and that it wouldn't blow up. That's why you gave your little stock answers. And I mean, what happened? It basically blew up in your face. So there you guys go. Konami has, I guess, fixed the product for, I don't know, 1% of people affected. No one has gotten refunds. From what we know, if you're not an OTS store and you didn't buy cases, you're basically just funked. And even if you did buy cases and you are an OTS store, you're probably still fucked anyways, because if you happen to do any pre-orders, like you sold copies of masterpieces and stuff like that, you obviously weren't able to fulfill those orders. I believe that's what Pro Play Games George had. Basically, he was like, well, we can't fulfill our orders now. So it's not like he's going to make money off of this. He still lost money anyway. So this is just a complete fiasco. This is not a fix. This is damage control. And even for the people who are being compensated, like Pro Play Games, okay, that's like 1% of the people who bought the product. So congratulations, Konami. Here's a small golf clap. You had one of the biggest blunders in this game's 20-year history, and you handled it completely amateurish. Like it had never... Well, actually, it had never happened again, but you handled it as if you haven't been in the card business for 20 fucking years like you have. Like, you should have already been on the ball. You should have just came out. I don't know how much money it would have cost to just kind of compensate everybody who had evidence of the faulty product that was Maximum Crisis, but you should have instantly came out and compensated everybody. You shouldn't have given this bullshit answer about how we don't care because, you know, we don't guarantee ratios. You only did that because the entire internet was fucking breathing down your neck, and there were people posting hours and hours saying don't buy this product. So I guess that's my response video. You guys can take it for what it is. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. One more thing I actually wanted to add to this video, because I actually thought about it and it was supposed to be in the video. I think that it is absolutely moronic to use this logic that, well, Pro Play Games handled it the right way and they addressed Konami really nicely, so that's why Konami worked with them. Do you understand how stupid that logic is? Like, police officers don't only give justice to people who are nice to them, to people they like. If you go meet an officer on the street and you say, fuck you, you dumbass cop, you're a bitch, and then you walk away, the next day you get robbed and you see that same police officer, the officer isn't going to say, well, I'm not going to go find the criminal who robbed you because you called me a dumbass bitch. Like, they don't care. You're still a person who deserves justice. Like, it doesn't matter how you contacted Konami. If you were screwed by Maximum Crisis, which they know thousands of people were, it shouldn't honestly matter. They should try and work with everybody because they obviously know there were tons of people affected. It's so stupid to say they handled it the right way, so they're the only ones who deserve to be compensated. Like, that's so fucking stupid.